Sexual violence is it's a very complex topic. And unfortunately, I can tell you that sexual violence is extremely common. It's very likely that either you know somebody or maybe have even you yourself been affected by sexual violence or will be affected at some point in your life. The CDC estimates that greater than 1 out of every 3 women and almost 1 out of every 4 men will be affected by sexual violence at some point in their lifetime.
Wow. So
yeah.
What would you say that a big misconception is for anyone when it comes to sexual assault?
I think a really common misconception that people have is that they're likely to be targeted by a stranger. And in reality, the vast majority of victims know the perpetrator, and sometimes they are even in an intimate relationship with them, or it may be even a family member. So that idea of a stranger assaulting you in your bedroom is a far less likely to happen, although it does, and it's terrifying. But the fact that victims often know their perpetrator on some level makes it extremely hard for victims to come forward. A lot of times patients or victims don't want to get the perpetrator in trouble, or they may have a fear of retaliation. And there's a lot of complex emotions that makes it an intensely personal issue, and it makes it extremely challenging for people to speak up and say when they've been violated. The most important thing that we can do is creating a safe space for people to speak up and treat people with dignity and compassion that have been sexually assaulted. So that goes for, friends and family members that may come to you and share an experience that they've had. It's so important to treat that person's concerns like they're real and create a space for listening and not judgment. Dating and alcohol use are both 2 common areas where sexual violence occurs. So practicing safe dating habits is super important to helping keep yourself safe. Make sure that you're meeting somebody new in a public space, and let your friends and family know where you're going and exactly what your plan is. Keeping your location services turned on your phone so that your friends and family can kind of monitor and intervene early if your plans veer off course. Right. And then also being aware that when you're out in a social situation and you may be drinking alcohol or using a substance that can alter your thinking or impair your mentality, that puts you at higher risk because you're more vulnerable. You're less able to protect yourself, and you may be less able to make decisions that safeguard you.